So just like that, we're in the Catskills. It's about 6:30 right now. Yeah, getting here a little bit later than I thought I would when I was planning to come, but that's all right. The evening is a prime time to scout for most animals, bear included. So yeah, we're parked here. This is a nice little parking spot on a dirt road that was perfectly fine for my car, which is not a truck. And hey, this is a heads up. If you didn't already know, I did a whole video going over how I planned for this scouting trip. We used a tool that I'm building called GameSearch-AI, and it's an AI scouting tool. It's gonna be about a mile hike tonight. I'm excited. I think there is a chance to see bear, and as well like other animals too, which I would love to record and kind of take note of to hunt deer or whatever in the future out here. But yeah, it's real quiet. I'm the only one parked here today. Very accessible. So yeah, it's just gonna be about getting to a lean-to and then spending the night. Could be that tomorrow as well, like I'll need to come back down from the mountain to get to one of my other spots. It's about a 4-mile hike, so I'll probably want to get in the car instead of doing the 4 miles tomorrow just to get home a little bit earlier. But yeah, it's a beautiful day out here. Bugs are not as bad as the Adirondacks, so that's a good thing. So I'm just starting out on my 1.1 mile hike to the summit of Campbell Mountain, in which there's a lean-to up there and also a high probability spot for bear, as kind of annotated by the AI. So far, I'm really liking this land, even just already. A lot of places I hunt, I look for oak forests and I don't find them. Here I see oak leaves all over the place. Acorns, I'm stepping on them from last year. Yeah, good sign. I'm still very new to scouting bear and finding where they are, but I've heard about I think they like to hibernate on slopes, and so the Catskills has no shortage of that. And then we're here in their food source too, already a good sign. And just having the bears, they're here. The Catskills have a high bear harvest in New York, so they're definitely here, and just being able to find their habitat is a huge head start. So, and then playing the terrain to give you the best chance. So the forest is just starting to feel alive here at night. It's about 7:15, and it should be dark in less than an hour. And just starting to hear more chirping, more movement. I'm close to the lean-to. I will not be summiting Campbell Mountain today. I will save that for tomorrow morning, where I'll kind of hang out and scout for bears. It's been a great hike so far. I have not seen deer or bear. I will say I haven't seen any sign either, but I haven't been focusing as hard as I'd like to. Just kind of trying to get to the lean-to. Well, I've got the lean-to and I'm gonna go ahead and set up. Still haven't seen anything. It was funny, this lean-to is like the first time I've ever seen on an Onyx marker for marking like a public spot, the lean-to. It wasn't quite accurate. It was probably 200 yards off, I would say. The one map that was correct was the actual one provided by DEC. So that's good. But yeah, gonna get set up. Probably edit some videos tonight in the lean-to. So I'm in the lean-to and I've been working on some editing, and I have a thermal camera here that I've been I just started scanning for the first time tonight, just seeing if anything's out there that I can't see. It's actually pretty darker than maybe the camera picks up, but I'm gonna try this. There is a deer outside the lean-to about, I want to say 40 yards off, and it's currently not visible right now, but pretty cool. Caught it on the camera. Deer right outside the lean-to. Good morning. It's about 5:30 a.m. here in the Catskills, and I just started my hike about probably 45 minutes ago, honestly. I got up pretty early because it was hard to sleep, but yeah, no problem. It's good to be up early. This first light, I've really been able to record. Yeah, so what I'm gonna be doing this morning is heading over to Campbell Mountain itself. Hey, I just wanted to give a little bit of heads up that there is some confusion that I've had and that potentially the AI had as far as where is Campbell Mountain. When I look at my map, it shows Campbell Mountain here on the terrain image to the east here on this part of the ridge. Over on the street map, it shows it further west. And there is a peak marked at 677 meters on the street map, but it's different. What's also interesting is there's an unmarked peak up here as well, 750 meters, and that is the highest point on the ridge. So it's really kind of unique to have Campbell Mountain labeled at a lower elevation You can see actually for Sugarloaf Mountain over here, it's labeled twice. So what I'm thinking is that they might be referring to the mountain as like the whole ridge line, and if the AI was considering that, it could have been talking all the way down here, which I never actually went to. And that's fine. I think we did a good shot. I looked at a lot of this terrain here, so yeah, just wanted to take a note of that. There's some confusion. Camel Mountain, I found out like last night, doing some more, just looking at the map. It's actually down the ridge from where I am currently, and so the AI has me going a little bit lower in elevation and over to a saddle next to Camel Mountain. So yeah, I think it's looking good. Last night was fun. It was a little bit of an adrenaline-filled night, but not an actual danger. I probably around 3 a.m. I got woken up by what sounded like footsteps. So I'm like definitely on edge about it. And so I start hearing cracking, and I start realizing, you know, it is almost certainly something like moving. I turn my flashlight, and instead of seeing what I thought was probably like a bear, it was two deer walking by, and they were probably 40 feet from the lean-to. Two does, and yeah, they seemed like decent size, and definitely getting excited for deer season too out here. But yeah, let's go to Campbell Mountain. Campbell Mountain, and there's some clearings up here that just look absolutely beautiful. Surprised there's not a bear right here. Yeah, this place just feels special. Look at all these beautiful pink flowers. Checking for bear sign on these trees, but I haven't seen any yet. What I'm looking for is bark that's been clawed up. Read about spruce trees getting the bears will work all the way around spruce trees and take off the bark around the bottom of them. Not a lot of conifer up here. It's mostly just these deciduous trees. Getting closer to Campbell, and there was a doe that was just, oh, I see her on the camera. I can see a doe. It's hard to say. I'm gonna have to review. Oh yeah, no, there she is. That's pretty cool. I can record this, but yeah, she's standing there looking at me. And not happy I'm here. Understandable. It's about 6:15, and I'm really getting close to Campbell. Probably about like quarter mile from the mountain summit. What is actually interesting is that I'll be headed, this trail crosses private land. I'm sure there's a deal with the landowner to do that, but that would obviously not be a good spot to scout, even though that is kind of right near the funnel. But I will probably set up either on top of the saddle, or I have an option. The saddle, there is the same saddle, and also like it goes in a different direction as well, into a different area. There's another spot I can go to, which is downhill. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'll go to both areas or just one. Yeah, I've been seeing I saw one doe on my thermal, which is awesome, and then I also have heard two other does, but all of them I think are catching me by wind and alerting me of that. So not sure how well founded this is, but kind of excited about this, how beaten down this trail is here, because there's really not a lot of footprints and things like that. So I'm not sure if this would be human or animal. Obviously, being this trampled on, it probably something that weighs a bit and has a bigger imprint to make. But yeah, no signs so far. We're getting really close to our destination here. Well, I'm pretty sure this is a nice little deer scrape. Although, I mean, these lines here are interesting. Could just be antlers for sure. A smaller buck potentially. Yeah, it's definitely a good deer hunt out here. This is a really nice area. This is right down in a low the trough of the funnel, and it's just beautiful. And I've been seeing a lot of deer tracks. Definitely a hot spot for deer over here. Right down there is a nice big deer. I don't think we can see it on the camera, but it was a nice deer. And yeah, I'm here still in the trough of the funnel. It just heard another crack, so I'll be hopefully recording again here in a second. So I'm back up the funnel to some state land, and I see all sorts of stuff that looks like this. I think it's just deer. But yeah, right around here, I'm looking to set up and sit for hopefully about an hour. And in that time, would love a bear to come by. Haven't seen any signs so far, so don't have the highest expectations, but it's definitely possible because bears move a lot, and so let's see how it goes. Okay, so I sat about an hour up here at the top of the funnel and didn't see anything. Tons of squirrel activity. Probably good spot to squirrel hunt, honestly. I'm gonna head down back to where I came from. I'm gonna actually go a bit off trail over there and check out like a spot that is kind of east of the private land that I was walking through, where I saw the couple deer. So I'll be back with an update over there. So I'm off trail, coming downhill to another side of a funnel. I'm seeing a lot of like ground disturbance, not like real prominent game trails, but definitely stuff walking through here. Probably deer, but never 100% sure. Looking at all the sort of trees around here, checking for kind of definitive bear sign. Not finding anything currently. I always have this question. There's this idea of wanting to get further away from people to go and find your deer and your bear, and how they just want to get away from people. But I always think the trails are not a bad thing for the animals, and they like to use them. I don't know that it's like, that's true, but there's also a lot of animals like to travel off trail as well. So you never really know like what the best spot is to try and scout and hunt, whether it's on trail, off trail. I think I am sort of preparing it. I have a bit of a general rule of thumb of like, the animals do like human activity quite a bit. It's hard to disagree with that sort of thing when you know, it's like every time you see what you want, it's usually like at the trailhead, or you're hearing gunshots behind you when you're out deep in the woods. So yeah, it's a never-ending mystery. Hey, so I've been walking the bottom of this creek area. It's absolutely gorgeous here. Just waiting for something that jumps out to me as bear sign. Yeah, still hopeful about this place, but this will be like one of the last places I stop, and then I'll probably head back to the car and head to a different location nearby. Yeah, let's hope for like a good end of this like leg of the trip. So I'm on my way back to the car, and I just had a nice little encounter with some guy doing trail maintenance for the Finger Lakes Trail out here, and he was super nice. And I mentioned that I was like scouting for black bear, and he said it was surprising I didn't see any signs. So that's a good. He said they're all over here, and I believe him. It's just I was looking for that footage of the sign, but yeah, I mean, and it's like I have seen bear before, and the sign is pretty limited. You know, just maybe a bit of scat, but then like the ultimate indication that they're there is seeing one. So potentially be heading to a different location, but we'll let you know and sign out if I don't. So I decided to basically cross over the ridge where I parked at last time by driving around it, which saves me a bunch of time hiking, and we're gonna go explore the ridge right next to Papacton Reservoir, and this could be good. I didn't see like hardly any footsteps coming down. This trailhead is very like overgrown, and I don't think hardly anyone hikes here. So I'm super, I'm curious, like, if the influence of the reservoir and, on this like warm summer type environment, maybe we'll have a better shot at finding bear over here. But yeah, let's wish me luck. I think we have a pretty view incoming. We're approaching kind of the edge of like this bench that overlooks the reservoir. I think we're going to be able to get a view because the forest is relatively open here. So yeah, that's exciting. Also, this area, haven't seen like particularly bear sign, but it just seems good. It's not bear, but this looks so fresh. I wonder if there's a deer like right near us. Let's go take a look over the edge of this bench. I can see water already, and you can see the blue in the background in the video. Wow, I do see, like, I don't know if you can see those like tidbits of the water, but it's a huge body of water. We're right about like at a decent spot for what the AI was thinking for this area. Just kind of on these downward slopes going towards the reservoir. To really get a good scout of this, I would want to do a few more miles of hiking today, but I'm pretty tired, so I will be heading home shortly. I've seen a bunch of like little piles like this. I mean, it's not huge, but it's not like tiny either. I do think it's deer, but they really have some digestive issues out here. Here we go. This looks like a bear claw here. This one right on the lower. This one here. I mean, it could be deer. Just like that angle really makes it look like there are certainly obviously deer walking through, but those are these two cones are very like protruded. Let me see if I can find another. There's just tons of deer tracks here. Certainly deer tracks. Now I wonder, I'm not necessarily going to get lucky and find another track. I mean, certainly deer have been just tearing up this area. This right here would be an absolute great deer hunting spot on the edge of this bench here towards the higher elevation. Up there is a nice slope up to a peak. But that, I mean, if I see more evidence around here, I'm gonna assume that was bear. Well, I'm really enjoying walking this bench up here. It is about as far as I'm gonna go. I'm trying to find just a little bit more evidence that what I saw recently was a bear footprint and track, but not seeing anything obvious right just as of yet. So I'm kind of going with like it's a 50-50 chance that what I saw was a bear track, and the other 50% being it could have been a deer track. So yeah, either way, this area is awesome, and super happy to be up here. My last ditch effort for definitively finding bear sign is I'm gonna head down a drainage. I'm currently at like the headwaters, so on the map it shows you actually see where the water starts flowing. So I'm expecting it's gonna be pretty dry, but it still should be a good little like channel for animals and kind of creating more like lush vegetation and such. So yeah, let's give it a try. I absolutely love these stone walls. especially when you find them kind of in the middle of the woods. Like, I'm not really super close to another trail, and so I'm guessing this must have been assembled a long time ago, and it's so long. I saw back there it actually takes a left turn. It seems pretty square. But yeah, I just left the little stream, the quote-unquote last-ditch effort. Going to head back to the car now. And yeah, just looking at that, you get excited, and it's almost certainly just deer. That's so yeah, tons and tons and tons of deer dropping. So if anyone's here for deer hunting, yep. Okay, so, and we're finally heading back to the car. This scouting mission has been a lot of fun, and it's a bit bittersweet because we didn't find any like real convincing bear sign out here, but I do believe they're here, especially when you have the acorns falling and the weather gets a little bit more cold. I'm sure they'll be moving a bunch more. Definitely, I would love to follow up on this video at some point in the future with that sort of update. Yeah, we're gonna head home. It's about a 2.5 hour drive for me, and I'm pretty hungry and tired, so looking forward to getting in the car and headed back to the family. So I hope everyone who's watching have a great day, and thank you so much. Appreciate it.